saying like just be sense, and that's the stupid thing about this team. And this is what I'm saying. It's not all the manager's fault. Sometimes it's just the stupid thing about this team. The time that they concede goals, it's ridiculous. Bro, you can't. Even a Sunday league team or like 10-year-olds, whatever it is, it's common sense, bro. Don't. Martinez
is too high, man.
What are you trying? What in the first 5 minutes of that game? I mean, on the second half, what you want to do? Keep a low block, keep it as tight as possible, because you're still going to get. You know what I'm saying, you're still going to get an opportunity, and it's just like once that goal went in, that was a game done. That was game over. You just don't concede that early. It's stupid, absolutely stupid, and that's the problem with the team is that they've got brains of a 5-year-old. Like, I honestly do believe the team does have quality. It's just the brain just doesn't. I don't understand what goes on in their heads at times. Just the decisions that they make. I look at it sometimes, thinking, what is this guy doing? And what does that stem from? I'm saying, and that's sometimes where you look to the manager at times like, bro, do you not have a word with him? Because this is week after week. We concede at stupid time. We concede within the first 5 minutes of game. We either concede within the last 5 minutes of the first half. We come in from the second half. We concede early on. Then we concede. The periods of time, if you look at a lot of our games and analyze it, the times that we concede, a top team should not be conceding. Forget a top team.
That's when you should be shoring up.
A Premier League team should not be conceding at those times of the game.
On a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
Because it can happen.
It can happen, but on a regular basis. If you look at time and time again.
That's just a pattern.
It's a pattern. And this is not just I'm talking about from last season. From last season.
Maybe even season before that, gossip.
It's true, bro. Maybe season before that. And it just wasn't good enough, man. It was today, like, I can blame a lot on the manager, and also I blame a lot. I blame the manager because of how we start. Whatever tactic he's obviously written out is either one, this players have chose to ignore it, or two, it just didn't work. Because whatever it is, it just
didn't work. Nothing worked. That was first 45 minutes.
Nothing worked. And the players' individual errors, you can't blame managers for that, man. Like, it's just Dallo not following his man.
The Red Sea opening. There were so many steps because it started off with the Rashford and Garnacho. So what's happening? What's happening there? So that's the first one. Because I remember it real time. Because obviously you don't know that it's going to be a goal, right? But at that point you're like, you heavy touch, you've gone. He's gone, yeah. What's happening there? Yeah. Stupid. Then he's picked up the ball. In his own half. In his own. So that's not danger. In his own half.
Danger signs don't start going off your head straight away.
And then, so obviously when they scored, I messaged Tom. I was like, did he buy land? Because that's the only explanation for me is that he picked up, kept running, and then he kept running. And then obviously he put on the afterburners, and then somebody's thought, let's chase him. You didn't think that while he was running 40, 50 yards at all.
It's ridiculous.
Drills across, and then Darlow's putting his hand. Brother, what were you doing in that time?
What were you doing?
Because you weren't going to get the ball, so what were you doing?
Because
think about it.
And this is why I say the players have to take some accountability. It's stupidity, bro. Where's the lapse of joy?
It's not like he ran past him.
Bro, you can see it.
Yeah, it's not like he ran past him. He just went...
He's just lazy, and he just didn't follow him. And the thing is, in his head, he might be thinking, I would expect them to deal with it.
They're going to deal with that thing.
And they didn't deal with it.
But as a defender,
never expect it. Because something similar happened where, I think, was it Mazraoui? He had to
Mazraoui done the same thing.
Same thing.
Because Werner was about to tap it in.
But he got there.
Yeah.
Whether Werner was going to tap it or not.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
If he didn't tap that one in, I swear it's 4-5. So that would have been an open goal.
But no, it was horrible, man.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And it just obviously forget the game, putting things in perspective. Like, if I thought Spurs are technically, they're not that great. But I rate the manager highly. I keep saying it time and time again. Whatever game plan Andrew puts out for them, whether or not they're executing or not, I love the manager. Now go back on us. So if I'm saying that about Spurs, what is it? So is it the players are not good enough, or is it the manager that's not good enough? For me personally, I keep saying it time and time again. I'm not saying these players can win the league. These players are good enough to get top 4. And I keep saying it time and time again. The reason why I'm picking the other teams to make top 4 ahead of us it's because they have better coaches than us. I just don't think this man is getting the best of this players. I honestly, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying today's game is just all on him. The players have to take accountability on this game. But we're 6 games in now. When we haven't scored enough goals, I know you can't put the ball in the back of the net for the players at times because we have created chances in games. But if you're not creating chances, that's why the players have to take account. But if you can't get the best out of them after 2 seasons, 1 to 3 seasons, when are you gonna be able to get that?
I'm actually scared about him leaving now because we've got a squad full of people that he's just worked with fully.
Yeah,
like we've got so many players that are just 10 hard players. Someone new comes in and says, actually, I can't work with any of these players. What are we doing? You got to start another 700 million.
I think the players that there, I think another manager. That's just my personal opinion. I think these players are just not. I think they're good enough, bro. Some of these players are good. They're not the top of they're not the Man City. They're not gonna be.
But then you need to get a specific profile of manager because the players can be good, but you might not be good for my football.
And I think that's where you nailed it. It's the profile of manager. You have to make sure because what they need to understand is if they don't want to go and spend another 600-700 million, which you
can't get a Pep manager.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
These guys can't do.
Yeah, so that's what they're not going to do because I'm sure they don't want to spend that money again. You can't keep doing the same thing. You now need to get a manager. A profile type of manager. We know we're playing
transition football most
likely. That knows that, okay, this is the players he has to work with. And the same thing with Ange. When he bought Ange, he must have told Ange, I'm not going to spend 300-500 million for you. You need to work with this man. Whatever it is you got to do. Like, and if we need to buy players,
when he went to Villa and took over from Gerrard.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Gerrard about to relegate them.
And so you can get a manager that can, because these players are not the best in the world. But they are 100% good players. They are, and I'm not going to shy away from me keep saying these players are good players. Well, if a manager can't get the best out of them, then you might need to replace the manager. And it might be a thing where they just don't believe in him. They don't believe. Maybe they're not convinced enough.
Some just don't seem like they're on it as well.
Yeah, they're not convinced enough to go out there and fight for him.
But then there's a fight for Man United, though.
Fight for yourself, bro. For your own self-pride.
And I get
fight
that.
For Man United.
I get that. But for some reason, even that statement that Ericsson made, if after 2 years or going into 3 years, because I think he agreed with Ericsson or something like that as well, and you're putting players out there you're putting players out there you believe the opposition wants it more than them, then that's your problem.
Yeah, that's wild.
For you to be I can understand if you just started, you know what I'm saying, and the players after 2 years, especially players that a lot of them you've handpicked yourself, and they're going out there, and the opposition wants it more than them.
And the opposition it's FC20.
FC20.
But my problem is, I feel as if we've let them run with a narrative because we've made that statement. Like, obviously, we drew, but that mistake doesn't happen. We win. None of this is mentioned.
Yeah, but that performance is flat as well, though.
The second half was flat. The first half, we let them back in the second half. Yeah. But if they don't score...
But in the first half, you could have scored first. The minute was 2 minutes.
But we weren't under the cushion the first half. Yeah. We went flat definitely in the second half. And then we made the mistake. But it wasn't like they carved it themselves. That was a big mistake.
Even that goal is similar to the goal today. It's similar today. Exactly the same. And this is what I'm saying. The players have got to take some accountability, bro.